Welcome back, everybody. We're diving into a topic that I think a lot of people are curious about.
Hmm.
Skin changes during and after pregnancy.
Absolutely.
And again, we're going beyond the basics here,
Yeah.
right? We really want to understand what's happening, why these changes occur,
Yeah.
and what can you do about them? I mean, did you know that even that line, the linea alba, the one that runs down your stomach,
Yeah.
that even that changes?
It does, yeah. The body goes through so much during pregnancy, and it's not just, the growing belly or anything like that. It really is like this hormonal symphony that's happening that can affect everything
Oh,
from your
yeah.
skin pigment to even the thickness of your hair.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's talk about the color changes, though.
Yeah.
Especially, the ones that maybe catch people off guard a little bit.
Right.
Like melasma, the
Yeah.
pregnancy mask.
Yeah.
What causes those dark patches to just kind of show up,
Yeah.
seemingly out of nowhere?
Well, melasma is one of the most common changes that we see. And they can pop up on the cheeks, the forehead, really anywhere on the face. And it's really driven by a surge in estrogen and progesterone. And those hormones actually stimulate melanin production, which is what gives our skin its color.
So it's like your body's just like, let's make some art. Let's throw some color on there. I mean, it can be a shock to look in the mirror and see these things happening.
Right. It is temporary.
Okay, good.
So as those hormone levels return to a normal state after delivery, they do tend to fade. But a good thing to do is really just stay on top of your sunscreen.
Yes.
It can really help manage that and make sure those patches don't get any darker.
I was religious about sunscreen when I was pregnant. I was like, I'm not messing around.
Good.
I put it on every day.
That's great.
And it really did make a difference. Let's talk about stretch marks.
Okay.
Those purplish wavy lines that show up.
Yeah.
Sometimes on the tummy, the breasts, the thighs. What causes those?
Well, it's really just the skin stretching and splitting because of the rapid growth.
Yeah.
So if you imagine like a piece of fabric and you just keep pulling it,
Yeah.
eventually it's going to start to break down.
Oh, that's a very vivid image.
Yeah.
But that's something I think that people really want to know about. So what can you do about them?
Well, they do tend to fade, but they do typically remain as scars. But there are things you can do,
Okay.
like keeping your skin really hydrated with a good moisturizer that can help to increase the elasticity.
Okay.
And supportive maternity garments can really help to reduce that strain,
Makes sense.
reduce the stretching.
Okay. So I've heard people talk about getting like red palms when they're pregnant.
Yes.
What is that about?
So that's called palmar erythema. And that, along with those little clusters of blood vessels that you can get on your face, those are spider nevus. Those are all related to increased hormone levels as well.
Oh.
And what happens is your body's really working hard to increase that blood volume to support the baby. Oh, wow.
So these are kind of just side effects of that.
So it's like my body is just creating so many blood vessels.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's just like, let's get them in there. Okay.
It's fascinating how the body adapts.
Yeah. Speaking of fascinating adaptations, the pregnancy glow.
Oh, yes.
What is the science behind that?
So that's another hormonal marvel.
Okay.
It's increased blood flow, which is what gives you that rosy cheeks.
Uh,
But then also the oil gland activity increases,
oh.
which gives you that dewy kind of sheen.
Oh, so it's like a natural highlighter.
Exactly.
I like it. Okay, so we know hormones impact the skin. They also impact hair, right?
Right.
So thicker hair during pregnancy.
Yes.
But then...
You can have hair loss after
Yeah. Oh.
that postpartum shedding. What is the deal with that?
It's all about the estrogen. So during pregnancy, estrogen levels are high, and that actually extends the hair growth cycle. So
No.
you get those nice, thick, luscious locks.
Yeah.
But then after delivery, those levels drop, and a lot of those hair follicles go into a resting phase.
Oh.
And then that's what leads to the shedding.
So it's like this delayed reaction to the hormones going crazy. Is there anything women can do to manage that?
Well, first, just remember that it's usually temporary.
Okay, good.
It usually lasts about 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
And things like a mild shampoo can be really helpful.
Okay.
And if it's really excessive, talk to your doctor about minoxidil spray,
Okay.
because that can be a really safe and effective option.
Good to know. So we've talked about some specific things, but what are some just general skincare strategies that women can adopt during pregnancy?
Well, gentle cleansing and moisturizing is really key.
Okay.
And like we said before, using sunscreen every day, even on a cloudy day, is important,
Yeah.
especially to prevent those pigmentation changes.
Are there any products that pregnant women should just like completely avoid?
Yes, definitely. Things like tretinoin, also known as Retin-A,
Okay.
those are known to be harmful during pregnancy.
So it's always good to check with your doctor.
Yes, always consult with your healthcare provider before trying anything new.
Makes sense.
And of course, having a healthy lifestyle is important as well. Things like adequate sleep,
Oh, yeah.
exercise, and a balanced diet.
Yeah. It seems like this is a time when taking care of yourself from the inside out really matters.
It really does. Pregnancy is such a beautiful time, but it is demanding on the body.
Yeah.
So prioritizing yourself and your skin
Yeah.
is a really good way to take care of yourself physically and emotionally.
It's all connected, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, well,
Absolutely.
we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk about what happens to your skin after baby arrives. So stay with us. All right, we're back and we're talking all about skin changes during and after pregnancy. So we talked about some things that happen during, but now let's get into what happens after the baby arrives. Does everything just go back to normal?
Well, not exactly overnight, but many changes do start to fade.
Okay.
Like the linea nigra, that dark line that runs down the abdomen,
Right.
usually lightens up quite a bit within a few months postpartum.
Okay, that's good. What about stretch marks? Do those ever go away completely?
Well, unfortunately, stretch marks tend to be a little bit more stubborn.
Oh,
They usually fade from that purplish reddish color to a more paler silvery color, but they usually stay as permanent scars.
oh, so they kind of just become less noticeable over time.
Exactly.
Okay, kind of like a little roadmap of
Yeah.
the journey.
A little souvenir.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about something that I know a lot of women worry about, and that is hair loss after pregnancy.
Yes.
It's like you have this amazing thick hair when you're pregnant, and then all of a sudden,
It all falls out.
it's coming out everywhere. What's going on?
Well, remember how we talked about estrogen extending the hair growth cycle during pregnancy?
Yeah.
Well, after delivery, those levels drop,
Yeah.
and then hair follicles go into a resting phase, and that leads to the shedding.
So it's almost like a delayed reaction to
Well,
everything
still,
that was
yeah.
happening. Okay. So that's reassuring to know, because I think a lot of women, they just freak out when they start to see that.
Right.
Like, oh my gosh, my hair's falling out.
Exactly. And the good news is it's temporary.
Okay.
It usually lasts about 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
And just like stretch marks, there are things that you can do to kind of help manage it,
Okay.
like using a volumizing shampoo or being really gentle with your hair.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any postpartum skincare tips? Because, life with a newborn is a little bit crazy,
Yes,
but you still want to take care of yourself.
absolutely. Self-care is key,
Yes.
even when you're a new mom. Continuing to use a broad spectrum sunscreen is really important,
Okay.
especially if you're breastfeeding, as it protects against those pigmentation changes.
Okay.
And keeping your skin hydrated with a good moisturizer is also important
Yeah.
because hormonal fluctuations can cause some dryness.
So on top of everything else, you don't need dry skin.
Exactly.
It's like adding insult to injury. What if you are breaking out?
If you are struggling with breakouts, which can happen because of those hormone fluctuations,
Yeah.
things like topical antibiotics or over-the-counter treatments with benzoyl peroxide can be really helpful.
Okay. What about some of the stronger acne treatments,
Yeah.
like Retin-A?
So if you are breastfeeding, it's best to avoid Retin-A because it can be absorbed into the breast milk.
Wow.
But once you've stopped, you can generally resume using it
Okay.
if your dermatologist recommends it.
So it's always good to check.
Always good to check.
Okay. It's really interesting to think about how pregnancy kind of has these ripple effects.
Yes.
It's not just those 9 months.
Right.
It really affects things afterwards, too.
It really does. The postpartum period is a continuation of that journey.
Yeah.
It's important to acknowledge that your body is still adjusting and recovering.
So how can women support their skin during this time of transition?
Patience is key.
Okay.
Give yourself grace. Give yourself time to heal both physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
And know that these changes are a normal part of the process.
That's really important. Be patient with yourself,
Yes.
because I think we put a lot of pressure on ourselves
Too much pressure.
to bounce back
Yes.
immediately.
Exactly.
And I think that's just not realistic for a lot of people.
No, it's not.
What would you say to a woman who's feeling really overwhelmed with all these changes?
I would say you are not alone.
Yeah.
It's normal to feel a whole bunch of emotions during the postpartum period.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, these changes are not permanent,
Okay.
and there are things that you can do to manage the ones that linger.
It's good to hear that you're not alone.
Yes.
Because especially these days with social media, you see a lot of people just snapping back,
Yes. It's not realistic.
and it makes you feel bad.
Right. Focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Focus on your journey.
Yeah.
Celebrate your strength and resilience.
Yeah.
And seek support
Yeah.
if you need it. There's
Yeah.
a whole community of women who have been through this.
Yeah.
And they're there for you.
That is so true. And I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yes.
You are not alone. Thank you so much for being here.
It was my pleasure.
This was so insightful. I learned so much. And for everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this journey of discovery. We hope you learned some things about your skin, and we'll see you next time. You know, it's amazing what the body goes through during pregnancy and even after.
It really is.
We've been focusing a lot on skin,
Yes.
but it's really just one piece of the puzzle.
Absolutely. It's a whole body hormonal shift.
Yeah, it's a huge physiological change.
Yes.
And it's no wonder that women experience so many different things.
Exactly. And every woman's experience is so unique.
Yeah, that's so true.
Some might just sail through it and have no problems. Others might have a lot of challenges.
Right. And then there's the postpartum period, too,
Exactly.
which can be its own.
Whole other thing.
Yeah, it's a whole other chapter.
Yeah.
You're adjusting to life with a newborn. Your hormones are still going crazy.
Right.
Your body's trying to recover from childbirth.
Absolutely.
It's a lot.
It's a lot to handle, so self-care is so important.
Yes, it is.
It's essential.
It's not selfish.
No.
It's essential.
Yeah.
And I think part of that self-care is really just understanding what's happening
Absolutely.
to your body and kind of embracing it.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So the more you know about what to expect,
Yeah.
the better you'll be able to handle it.
For sure.
Mhm.
And, you know, there are so many resources out there
Oh, so many.
to help.
Yeah.
So, don't be afraid to reach out to your doctor, to online communities, whatever you need.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah. What would you say to someone who's just feeling overwhelmed by all these skin changes? Like, what's the one thing they should remember?
Just be patient with yourself.
Okay.
It takes time.
Yeah.
These changes don't happen overnight,
Right.
and they're not going to disappear overnight.
Yeah.
Focus on what you can control,
Okay.
like keeping a healthy lifestyle,
Yeah.
using good skincare.
Yeah. Good advice. Be patient,
Yes.
because I think we put so much pressure on ourselves to just bounce back.
Oh, the pressure is real.
And it's just not realistic.
No, everyone's journey is different.
It really is.
Embrace that.
Yeah.
Celebrate your strengths.
Yes.
You literally just brought a human being into the
Mhm.
world.
It's amazing.
That's incredible.
Well, I think that's a great note to end on.
Yes,
Celebrate your strength. Be patient with yourself. We covered a lot today.
we did.
So much good information about skin changes during pregnancy and after.
Fascinating.
Thank you so much for being here. This was so insightful.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for listening. We hope you learned something today, and we'll see you next time.